10-year-old Lola, who's playing on the beach, is building her dream sand castle. One with a tall tower and sea glass that can send signals to mermaids. One boy helps her build a strong wall. A toddler who's walking around carrying a plastic bulldozer helps her create a big moat around the wall. As the sandcastle grows, so does Lola's friendly group of helpers. Children and adults love the freedom of creating things, just like Lola, don't we? In today's episode, we talk about how a teenager who used a video game called Minecraft to create something astounding, a depiction of our universe. Well, if you have questions like, is this such an achievement to create something on a video game? Why is this lady on this podcast speaking so excitedly about video games? Don't adults usually think children are wasting their time playing video games? You'll find answers to this and more in this episode. Hi there, you're listening to What's New Today, a kids and family podcast about current events. Every Monday and Friday, we release a new episode discussing one super interesting news story, which could be about science or space or Marvel movies or even what's going on in different countries. This is Sangeeta, your host from India, and since it would be terribly boring if I started telling you all the news stories, I usually invite a super curious child from anywhere in the world to join me in every episode, and together we unravel stories, which is a lot more fun to listen to. Let me introduce you to my co-host for today's story.
Hello everybody, my name is Abhir Ghalke. I am 10 years old and I go to Shetty International School and Junior College in Mumbai. I study in 5th grade.
Welcome to the show, Abhir. I'm thrilled to talk to you about a very interesting topic today. It's about something very creative that someone slightly older than you has done using a video game. You know what game we're talking about today, right?
Minecraft.
If you were to meet someone who's never seen Minecraft, how would you describe the game?
I would describe the game as a sandbox type video game. Players don't have to achieve a particular set goal. They can create their own goals.
But if someone told me that you built an entire universe, there are planets and solar systems and galaxies, I find it a little hard to even imagine something like that. Are you able to imagine it?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Then you'll have to guide me through the course of this podcast recording about what all he's built and how he's built it. Can you help me?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the first thing he built?
The first thing he built was our very own planet Earth.
How did he go about trying to think in his head how planet Earth should look like?
First, he went skydiving. And as he says in his video, turns out I saw a lot of things, but not nearly enough to create the entire planet.
So to be able to see how planet Earth would look from space, he went up a helicopter or an airplane and jumped off with the assistance of somebody who had a parachute strapped to him. And then he was trying to see what would Earth look like from space. And after all that, he couldn't get everything that he wanted to.
Yes, ma'am. So he used his globe.
Finally used a globe from his room after all the efforts he took to skydive. I really liked it. Now, before we go ahead, I think I should ask you, what is the name of this creator?
Christopher Slayton. He is 18 years old. If I ever get Minecraft, he is like a role model to me for thinking out of the box as to what to build. Planet Earth alone, he took about 2 days.
Everything. He was able to finish all the mountains, the rivers, the continents, everything in 2 days.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think that's something you can achieve if you kept playing Minecraft for a few years?
Kind of, ma'am, because if I get enough experience as Christopher Slayton, who has played this game for 9 years.
Abhi, quick question for you. If you had to create planet Earth, What would your single most favorite feature be?
The Amazon rainforest.
Yeah, and hopefully in the version that you create, there's a lot of forest area that you give the Amazon rainforest, not like what it really is, where a lot of people have cut down the forest. Now let's get back to our topic. So our friend Christopher's created planet Earth. He sat and measured all the continents and the rivers and everything on the globe, and then he used tiny blocks and he created it, and he finished all of this in 2 days flat. I think that's like super awesome achievement. Next, what did he create?
The solar system.
Now, when he wanted to understand how Earth looked like, he went and he did skydiving. But to understand how the solar system looks, what did he do? He went on a space shuttle.
No, ma'am, he didn't. He probably looked up images or something. And for Saturn's rings, he had to use a mathematical concept called the Pythagoras theorem.
Have you heard of such a thing?
Yes, ma'am, but all that flies over my head completely.
You are in grade 5. You should certainly let it fly right above your head. So this person had the enthusiasm to do skydiving and then had the enthusiasm to sit and work out complex mathematical calculations. Huh? It's a lot of hard work. No longer sounds like a fun video game.
It takes some real dedication.
Yeah, it's almost like preparing for a very tough exam in school. So now we left off at where he's created the entire solar system. Next, what did he do?
He created a supermassive black hole.
Whoa. Do you know what a black hole is?
It is basically a giant hole in space that can warp light itself. If you have noticed in the 2014 movie Interstellar, the supermassive black hole has 3 disks around it. The disks of light that are around it are called the accretion disks.
And where do you read such things?
I have 2 space encyclopedias.
Very nice. Do you read only encyclopedias or do you like to read other kind of storybooks?
I love to read other kinds of storybooks as well, like Geronimo Stilton, Harry Potter.
You definitely sound more human now. Wonderful. Now, tell me, how much time did he take to create the entire universe?
Almost 2 months.
Did he go to school in these 2 months?
It doesn't seem like that.
But if he spent all that time doing all these complicated calculations and measurements and skydiving, I think his time is well spent. Are there any others who have built such amazing creations on Minecraft other than this universe that Christopher Slayton built?
I have collected some Minecraft projects, 2 of which are by Christopher Slayton as well.
He doesn't seem like he's very fond of going to school. I think he's sitting at home and creating masterpieces after masterpieces.
Even I think so. Now, the other famous builds that I have, in 2012, Jam Delaney 1 has created Adamantis, which is a fantasy city.
Fantasy city, you mean like a city or like a place like Hogwarts in Harry Potter, or
Yes, ma'am.
a place like Middle Earth in Lord of the
Yes,
Rings?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am, like that.
So now I have a very interesting question for you, Abhir. I have also heard and read in some places that teachers in schools seem to find the idea of giving kids projects on Minecraft a very interesting way for kids to learn.
It helps us visualize the creations in a 3-dimensional way.
It's almost like teachers giving you all unlimited number of Lego blocks.
Well, they can create collaborations.
What does the word collaboration mean?
That means, for example, there is this build to map our planet Earth, and it has various participants. So each participant can select the area of the world they want to build.
Interesting. Okay, so it's like teamwork. So
Yes,
if
ma'am.
all of you have to build India and each of you take one state and you build, like that, if all of you have to build planet Earth, each of you take a continent or an ocean or something and you build.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, nice. So, if there's one message you want to leave for your parents and your teachers in school, what would that be?
Well, ma'am, it would be that sometimes even video games can teach us something good.
On that very subtle note, we move to an interesting part of today's episode.
Quiz time!
Question 1. When Christopher Slayton wanted to create planet Earth and he wanted to visualize how it might look like, what was the first thing he did?
Skydiving.
Question 2. To construct which planet did he have to use some complicated mathematical equations that involve Pythagoras' theorem?
Saturn.
The last and the final question. If Abhir wanted to create planet Earth on Minecraft, which is the one feature that would appeal to him the most?
The Amazon rainforest. I have a couple of jokes that I'm pretty sure you would absolutely love.
I love your confidence in what I would really enjoy. Okay, let's hear them.
Number 1. Did you hear about the Minecraft movie?
Is it about some dwarves?
No, ma'am. The answer is it's a blockbuster.
Oh, cool. All those blocks. Wonderful. And the next?
Number 2. Why can't you score against a basketball player who plays Minecraft?
Because there are too many loopholes in it?
No, ma'am. The answer is because they are always blocking.
Lovely. I had a lot of fun chatting with you about this video game. Did you have fun chatting about all this?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
So before I let you go, tell me two things. When do you listen to podcasts?
I usually like listening to podcasts when I'm eating my evening snacks.
Nice. And is there any one episode on this podcast channel that you really enjoyed and would like to recommend to our listeners?
Episode number 72 about Serena Williams and Roger Federer. I like the fact in which I heard that Roger Federer was the first male tennis player from Switzerland to win a Grand Slam title.
Oh, and interestingly, a female had already beaten him to it from Switzerland. And of course, I felt very sad when Roger Federer announced his retirement, but it was a very interesting episode that we had recorded about it. Thank you very much, Abhir. It was such a pleasure chatting with you and having you on this show.
That brings us to the end of this episode. Did you enjoy listening to this banter between Abhir and I? If so, please do click the follow and subscribe button to continue to listen to such super interesting stories. Also, if you're one of those that really enjoys the topic of space or video games, you can find links to these episodes in the show notes below. Please share us, rate us, and spread the word to help us reach a wider audience. And
thanks for listening.